Hello, Patriots. I just want to jump on here again and tell you guys my experience with COVID. I actually recovered and I was sick for about 3.5, 4 weeks. But I'm sick of all this nonsense, and I just have to tell you my story of how I survived COVID. So basically, I went to work one day. It was raining, and it seems like it was raining three states, I swear, from Nashville, Kentucky, Indiana. So I drive for FedEx Freight, and originally I kind of thought it was like, okay, I'm coming down with something. And then when I came down, it hit all at one time real fast. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was almost all of the symptoms of the flu, but it seems like it was the flu like 10.0. I'm talking about the body aches, the fever, the chills, the headaches. And this went on for days. I mean, I didn't want to eat anything. Actually, I lost about 10 pounds. This went on for about 5 days, and after about the fifth day, Thursday, I kind of started feeling better. So I was like, okay, well, I can go back to work. And I went back to work for one day. Of course, it was raining again, and everything started all over again. By Friday night after I got home, the weakness came back, the sickness, the fevers, the chills, the body aches, everything. So at this point, my daughter was sick, had gotten sick. So at this point, I figured, we better go ahead and go to the urgent care. So we goes to the urgent care, and of course, everything is COVID. You know, they were gonna say that we had COVID. Um, but the crazy thing about it, they did not want to treat us. They sent us home. They said, okay, well, take vitamin C, take vitamin C, magnesium, zinc, things like this. And I was like, well, I'm already taking these things. So at this point, my daughter and I are sitting there sick. I'm arguing with the lady, like, look, if y'all gonna send us home, I mean, what type of treatment can we get? What are you gonna do? They pretty much, I had to force her to go and see if she could give us a inhaler, because she was like, pretty much, well, it's a virus, it has to run its course. So okay, I'm sitting here arguing with the lady. At this point, I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to give us something. She's like, well, can you breathe? I was like, no, I can't breathe. So anyway, we go home. She did finally give us an inhaler, or and just say, okay, go home and try to get better. Okay, so after all these things, nothing was really working. I started getting worse again, and the crazy part about it, I went outside to take the dogs out for like 30 seconds. I swear it felt like 1,000 needles hit my body at one time. I came in, I got the coughing so bad that I couldn't breathe. Every breath I tried to take, it was just, I could not get any air. Um, so at this point, um, after I got myself under control, my brother was like, "Don't panic. You have to be able, you have to breathe." Uh, I kind of went in. I took the inhaler, so I'm glad I did make her give us an inhaler. I took the inhaler, and from the point with the inhaler, that night I just said, "Forget it. If it's gonna get this bad, and I could possibly have set up pneumonia or any of that type of stuff, then I'm going to take my chances." So from this point, after I was able to catch my breath, I figured, hey, well, I mean, if I'm going to die, then I mean, what else am I gonna do? The doctor's not gonna treat us. There was nowhere to go. So I had been actually paying attention to what they were saying about the ivermectin, the hydroxychloroquine. So I boiled lemons, I boiled grapefruits, things like this. I started taking that, and then I got to the point where I just went to the Tractor Supply and I bought the ivermectin. Yeah. I know everybody's saying horse paste. Okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, I took and measured out enough for like 150 pounds. I took it, and I tell you, within 24 hours, all the coughing stopped. Um, 72 hours, I was up, I was out of the bed, I was walking around, still a little weak, but I was able to start functioning again. So they don't want you to take it, but it makes me wonder, okay, what is really going on, and why did COVID work? Oh, I'm sorry, why did the ivermectin work? Was it really a bacteria or parasitic infections? So it makes me wonder if all of these viruses are parasitic. I mean, I don't know. I'm not endorsing anything. I don't know why it worked, but what I can tell you is that it worked for us. So I end up giving it to my brother, my daughter, everybody that had COVID, and the same thing. Within 72 hours, we all were feeling better. Okay, and let me tell you how much fear that they have in people. So anyway, I was talking to my neighbor and I was telling him what I had been through and that we were sick with COVID and my experience. And so I was explaining to him to the only way that I had gotten better was to take the ivermectin, and the only way I could find it was at the Tractor Supply and everything, and that the doctors would not prescribe anything. They pretty much told us to go home and, hey, you're on your own. And he had the nerve to tell me, don't tell anybody that you took that. And I was like, why? Well, they're gonna come get you. I was like, well, who's gonna come get me? I said, I tell you what, let them come get me, and I'll handle it from there. But that just tells you how much fear they have created in people, and not to question nothing that the doctors or nurses or anybody is saying. But at the end of the day, I felt like, okay, if I'm going to die, then I have the right to try whatever I want to try to try to at least get well or do whatever I needed to do. So like I said, I'm not trying to endorse anything. You do the research for yourself, find out, question everything. If it doesn't seem right, hey, get a second opinion, whatever. But nobody was treating us, so I took matters into my own hand, and I survived COVID. That is my story. I survived it. Um, you have to do whatever you need to do to protect you and your family or your health, but obviously these doctors and nurses, they're not always right. So anyway, have a good day.